is late-ish. The Divinity of Marijuana. This is for 425. From the trials of Jesus to the test of Siddhartha, even the Athenian defeat of the Persians, it is one's ability to defeat a great enemy that makes one great. This can mean many things. Not to get too distracted, but Freemasons are embarked upon such a quest. They will fail, because I will destroy them. As such, Abraham and his God and children have chosen, while claiming to be instructed, to set themselves against the powers of our sacred sister. They believed that with the agenda of their God and how they implemented it upon their fellow humans, not of like mind, that cannabis didn't stand a chance. To accomplish this, they modeled the concept of their God on the actual capacity of weed. They lied that their God healed human suffering and ganja spread suffering and disease. They claimed God was as available as mota, equally to all living beings, not just members capable of believing their lies. They claim that Mary Jane has no role in Holy Sacrament in their temples, churches, and mosques, or in their bodies, or those of their children. And where has this God's plan brought life on earth? Absent all the religious rhetoric and justification based on their own lies and writings, which claim we are destined to suffer this hell, they are the epitome of evil. Do not all these drones parrot off, to quote from their own Bible, "There is nothing new under the sun," close quote. Now, as the veil of their lies collapse and are torn from top to bottom asunder, all they can do is double down, initiate new levels of violence, dig their scams deeper into scriptures of evil, and just hurt people. Honestly, if they didn't use guns and Bibles or Qurans with equal devotion, who would ever want the salvation offered? In this manner, they have forced millions to suffer and rot of cancers and mind disorders, breathing problems, and so much more. All while claiming their God, religion, could heal all these ailments. And to top it off, and on top of that, claiming that all these human sufferings aren't a result of their God having ruling power through their violence and charity, but because people deny their devil God. They lie upon lies so much all they can do is believe lies. If weed cures cancer and their God fights weed, in my book their God is cancer. Are not these same holy rollers the source of all the nuclear contamination that has brought their God into billions of bodies he was never wanted or invited in? So the stage is set. Who will be the victor? The God and minions of destruction, or cannabis? We decide now. All right, I can't not talk. That's pretty good though. I like that. So here's a couple points. It's really windy. The wind is thoughts. It's really windy. I'm talking about apartment building kind of swaying windy. So there's some really deep ideas being stirred up somewhere, somehow. It's kind of like in the movie The Rise of the Guardians with the Sandman and the way that he delivers in my front door. The way that he delivers the dreams tonight, and then the way it becomes nightmare. It's not that the hard winds mean nightmare. It just means that there's some really heavy thinking going on. So I have been watching, I've actually watched a lot of it. I watched 2 on YouTube, Assassin's Creed video game movies. Oh my gosh, I tell you I'm a horrible couch potato. But I like to use the excuse that I was referred to them, even though I could do it out because I have my phone and my Wi-Fi. But be it as it may. I guess I'm a cave dweller of a sort, or a cell dweller. It has a lot of powerful thinking. So it stirred some thoughts, because I like I said, I study war. Now I can start figuring out how to use it. So at one point, they're going to do an attack, and the guy says, okay, well, and me and my men will spread them throughout the town, and we'll create ruckuses so that the guards will be dispersed throughout the town, and it'll wean the forces back at the base. I like that. I'm thinking about how to use that against the police. You got to take into account the LAPD. They have 9,500 officers, and behind that is the sheriffs, and behind the sheriffs are those fascists. You got to understand, the family members of those people in those white shirts, because they're all fat, and means that they're probably raised by fat, stupid people too, and decrepit. That's what they get. It's a sad reality. You can tell it on their face. The family members will be right in line. So, like, to contest okay, it's got to go like this too. To put this in a context, and this is not eternal, but this is in the context, at least in the correct context. And this is going to be the most dangerous thing, really, that I can say, even though it's really one of the most insignificant things. And not that I'm saying it for the first time. But if you want to stop police violence, you have to recognize it is a political organization. It is the Republican Party. You have to recognize what it is. It is the GOP. It is the GOP. Whether there be peppered in their Democrats or in the upper echelons, the facade of the facade of the facade of the facade, in all art of war, the police forces of America are the Republican Party. That's the only way to really put it in context. I know some people say, oh, the Republicans and the Democrats are the same. That doesn't work, apparently. That doesn't convey the message correctly. So just say the Republican Party, and maybe that'll at least get some kind of thing. But in that context, is you have to understand that, like in Venezuela, if you want to stop police murder, you have to take on the violence of the GOP, because it is them, from the generals to the police chiefs to the CIA directors, FBI directors, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Prison owners, Walmart, Bill Gates on it. So this is another way that it works too. This is the way that this kind of shit works. Because like with the Bush family, it is essential that the Bush family's death be brought about. Now there's ways of going about it. If you're be the source of it, like this Assassin's Creed kind of shit like that, what you do is you don't instill a fear of, oh, they killed a guy, I don't want to be in that power, it's dangerous to be in that position. No, the typical echo effect that happens in a society, especially with massive amounts of poverty, which is a civilized republic, is that there are psychologies, independent and organic, that look at that situation and see, oh, look at how powerful that position is. They're even willing to kill you. They're gonna kill me. My mom wanted to kill me just because she didn't like me. My dad wanted to kill me because he regretted whatever. So why wouldn't I want a position, or at least want to, somebody want to kill me for a reason rather than just me being me. So the method of assassination, if that need be, and it's interesting because in this weird context, I like to believe that I'm really moving these huge forces that only I can really see. This is the delusion. But in this shit about just destroying the Bush family, burning them, fucking just eviscerating them, and just exterminating them. There was a headline on the Google News the other day that was on there for a while. They rotate through the headlines, and the top one was saying Obama about the killing the American and the French hostages or some shit like that, with the drone attack on accident. Interesting, it was a Jew. But there's a headline about, as Secret Service discovers George Bush's home security was not connected for 13 months. See, so I would like to believe in all of the shit that I'm talking, that the system, the PRISM system, is kind of echoifying and reacting in this way of trying to like convey to the public, no. Remember, everybody, remember, no. It's your responsibility to protect these people. Protect these people. Hey, remember the Secret Service. Oh my gosh, his thing. You gotta remember what your end of the bargain is. There's a deal. We got a deal. He did his end. Now you gotta do your end. And this echoes in white society, and they'll kill motherfuckers to protect that fucking fascist, criminal, goddamn murdering, raping fucking piece of shit Bush family. These fucking fools that go to church, yeah, they bring their fucking God bless fucking Jesus artificially inseminated bullets to kill on a massive scale for George Bush. And I figured out why. Because what the Bush type families do, same thing with it's a method of power. And what it is the part of the facade of power. This is how you create the facade of power, is that hatred, self-loathing. So when a man of power utilizes men of less power, I don't know what they think they are. I think they think they're loyal, virtuous, ambitious. I know they'd all say it's all different, no, but it's just one kind of portal, I guess, that you walk through. But like the Bush family. So with all the the crimes that the Bush family did, all the murder, which they actually didn't do. That's my whole point. This is how the power shit works. They didn't do it. George Bush Sr. never flew one, never touched, probably never touched coke, to be honest with you. Even if he did, it doesn't really matter. But for the most part, he's probably never even touched cocaine, despite the tons and tons and tons and the thousands and thousands of lives that have been touched by his cocaine. And the way that it was touched by his cocaine is that the people that were participating, the white American, good, born and bred GOP Christians going to church every Sunday and probably Wednesday and raise their kids and send their kids to Yale for Skull and Bones, or I'm learning about the Bouye Society, which is the black version of Skull and Bones, which, oh my gosh. Which is all Masons, all Masonry. So, actually, it's interesting, what you have, the Bouye Society is kind of like the Freemasons version of, well, even though it happened in like 1904, it's like the Freemasons version of the Mormon 1978, where they realize, hey, wait a minute, you mean black people aren't the children of Cain and they can actually go to heaven? Holy shit, we've got to change our book. Our membership is going down. We need to get some money back, because the Mormons are a mafia too, a child fucking mafia. Fuck your own kid mafia. That's it, that's all. There ain't no shame in that game. So what they do is they get, and it's the same thing with the Mormons actually. That's why they fuck their kids. It's this thing where you have a shame devotion. So what the Bush family has done is, the reason they can have headlines that says, oh my gosh, his security system was down, the Secret Service, wow, oh my gosh, which is really interesting, because if you think about, I mean, you don't think about it, but I would like you to try to think about the context. And even just humor, I don't even think you have to humor. I don't think it's fucking stretch. Only a fucking idiotic, stupid, fucking fascist, psychopathic GOP member who's all pro-murder for blacks, murder Mexicans, immigration, shoot the fucking Minutemen, drop nukes on fucking Japan, Iran, the Marshall Islands, our fucking allies, drop 20,000 more kilotons of fucking 100,000 times worth of nuclear contamination on our allies, the Marshall Islanders, just because they're vulnerable. That's the GOP Christian value. Motherfucking, we support George Bush. Because George Bush, that's the whole thing, is the role that he had in the coke is just a portion of it. He had his fingers, the way that they do that tentacle thing. He has his fingers in the nuclear industry, in the oil industry, as we obviously know, which is the plastic industry, which is the plastic is floating in all the ocean. And that's why there's no efforts to do anything, because if you actually trace the origins of all that plastic to the source code, most of it comes from the Bush family. And the fact that the Bush family, like GE, is not held liable for anything that they do is because of these hardcore GOP cops. The cops will fucking blow your fucking brains out to protect George fucking Bush. And even if the cop is a fucking black or a fucking Hispanic who come from the community, or a fucking chink, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. But that's the way the GOP talk. That's the crazy shit about it. They will, like they have, in my neighborhood, they have, I love it, there's the two Asian cops patrolling together. Now, these Asian cops, they'll be around the white cops, right? And the white cops, just like Dorner wrote inside of his manifesto, Christopher Dorner, that they murdered. So they murdered, you gotta understand, they murdered the chief's daughter just so that they could have a justification to murder Christopher Dorner. This is crazy shit. You can't see it because you don't know jack diddly squat shit. Play in mind like this. Trayvon Martin. Look. Okay, I get it. I know why this is a controversy. I forget. I gotta take it in context. So most people believe that Obama is like George Bush, a good Christian American. So that's fair. You gotta understand. That's the first delusion. That's the first level of psychotic fucking sociopathic fucking delusion to think that. Okay. On the next level down, you just think that they're crooked politicians. On the next level down, you think that they're competitive interests that are beyond the reign of politics or religion. On the next level down, you think that they're competing players or components, not components, I want to actually individual members, like competing individual members, or maybe teams, because you have like the neocons and so something like that. But in a competitive, like going for the promotion. On the next level down, they are janitors. No, it doesn't skip that far. On the next level down, they are members of the same group who do not have a like a promotion structured operation or function. So they're not competing as much as cooperating or coordinating without necessarily coordinating. Without necessarily plotting, so to speak. It's a reactionary kind of thing. I don't know, sensory deprivation comes to mind, but I think it would have to be some kind of opposite of that. Sensory sensitivity, sensitization, in which that certain things are sensitive. Like, if you look at one of my YouTube videos, this is real shit, because this gets fucking physically. If you look back on one of my YouTube videos that I took off this one thing where it's a chief of police from Cerritos, which is in Los Angeles. It's a big city, a lot of people. He's arguing with a 54-year medical professional. The cop has been a cop for like 30 years. He's a captain or chief. And then the medical professional has been a medical professional for 54 fucking years. The cop is arguing with the fucking guy about the medical dangers of marijuana. And this is a few years back, so this is like 10 or 15 cancers prior to being tested, which have now also been any cancer that weed is put against. They say weed doesn't cure all cancers only because they haven't tested all cancers against it. I'm going to say that on my notion that the plutonium-induced cancer, like Chavez was given by the CIA, that type of cancer, it might even been the type of cancer that Bob Marley was given, an early prototype of it, plutonium-induced cancer. That type of cancer is uncurable. You're fucked. But every other type of cancer so far that we've been put up against, it's defeated it. That's why I know it's going to defeat God, because that's what their God is. God is their God is the cancer. That's why he's come. There are more of them than ever now, and there's more cancer than ever. And they would say like, oh my gosh, that's the talk. No, you motherfuckers are the ones that talk about genocide and shit like that. You guys, as much as you fucking, yeah, look at it's your manifest world. You can't fucking blame me. You guys want to come up with some idea like an antichrist made the world as fucked up as it is now because you were the ones living in it. And even if there's an antichrist, that motherfucker being one individual is just a product of the society, which is basically you motherfuckers. So he's just gonna be a reflection of your own fucking face. But your inability to fucking adapt with the role that you have in him being there. That's what the fucking shit is. It's separating your fucking identity and your ability to perceive the role that you play in perpetuating cancer. If motherfucking these religions are fucking fighting marijuana, if their agenda, if on their pulpit, while their fucking members in their fucking pews have families sitting there praying on bedsides, dear Jesus, heal my little Benny, Marcos, whatever, whoever, because little kids are coming out with cancer fucking like water. So you have the little kids with cancer, you have the teenagers with cancer, You have the young adults with cancer. You have the middle-aged people with cancer. You have the semi-seniors cancer, seniors with cancer, and then you have the old people. Because I think once you get to a certain age, you stop getting cancer because it like dies. I think once you get past 80, it seems to me like you don't really get cancer. Cancer's too weak. Cancer's too old. Cancer's trying to catch up. Oh, I'm gonna develop into a tumor any second now. Some shit like that. But so, oh, I lost my train of thought fucking around. But yeah, so I guess it's if if and their whole premise, you gotta understand, these people are dying in their pews, and the whole premise, the entire justification of this behavior, the totality of it is merely the ability to delegitimize marijuana, demonize it, while sanctifying in real time the actual cause, because the cause is inaction, and this God idea is the inaction. That's fucking deep fucking shit right here. So this is a powerful fucking vortex, because the reality is the person with the fucking cancer is in the pew is a fucking idiot, first of all, because they're at the place that's making it worse. The people around them, the disgusting fucking attitudes that they have to have in order to believe the shit that they believe and to put themselves through that experience, and their kids through that horrible fucking structured, goddamn nasty, filthy experience, which it is. It's not beautiful. You gotta try to make it look beautiful because it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking horrible. You feel fucking like you come out of a hospital, you come out of a church, the same thing. You feel filthy. Like you gotta fucking peel that shit off of you. Like, oh, it's good to be back outside. Oh, back in real world, back in nature, back with our mother, closer to mother, out of that fucking hellhole. People say they feel better because they get high off their fucking singing. But these people in the pews with cancer, praying, man, that's some crazy shit right there. You'd think that I have to see it in their context. Oh, but you can't say that because they believe. No, you can't say that because you're a fucking idiot. I'm not a fucking idiot. I know weed cures cancer. I know God doesn't cure cancer. That's pretty much the equation right there. If you can't get past that fucking simple equation, you should kill yourself in any way fit. Because it is only because of people like you, the people like George Bush and his family are able to perpetuate the fucking mass amount of horrific crimes that they do, and then put us and drop the bill on us to protect them from the aftermath of all the fucking chaos that they cause. While our kids fucking, look at Chicago. Why doesn't Chicago get the Secret Service fuck the Secret Service protection? Fuck the money too. The concept is all distorted. The attention. I don't know. It's just disgusting. George Bush does not deserve our protection. He deserves to be fucking thrown into the fucking ocean, butt naked, with fucking 1,000 pinholes pricked into him. And his son all of his sons dropped in the middle of another fucking ocean. Maybe their fucking blood will soak up some of the fucking radiation from Fukushima and clean it a little bit. I don't know. Or maybe their blood is tainted. Who fucking knows? The moral of the story is, marijuana is you guys are fucked. You invested everything into fighting it. And now, how are you going to turn back? Huh? Huh? Is marijuana the Antichrist? Is that what it's going to come down to? Oh, it's a fraud. It really can't do these things that it really does because we're supposed to be able to do them even though we can't. But the fact we can't do them is just because you can't see them, because we really do them, because we've done them. Didn't you read the book? It's coming down, homies.